As arguably one of the best goalkeepers in the English Premier League over the past decade, Ederson has been a cornerstone of the Manchester City dynasty. A goalkeeper with world-class distribution, an ice-cool mentality and the ability to produce big saves in big moments. So when I had the chance to watch Ederson live and analyse his pre-game warm-up, I couldn't say no. What could I learn from his pre-game routine? Were there any tips or tricks that us goalkeepers could add to our own games? And how would his world-famous side volley look in real life? It's time to find out. So, as Ederson walks out at Old Trafford before the Manchester derby, we're going to have a look at his pre-game routine. And there's a few things that I want us to have a look at. I want to look at the exercises that he does. How does he get himself physically and technically ready? How does his mindset look before a big game? And are there any key takeaways that we can learn from? So Ederson starts off his warm-up pretty much similar to most of us, just with some volleys. So him and the goalkeeper coach, they're going with some central volleys, whilst the other two goalkeepers, Stefan Ortega and the reserve goalkeeper, do a few two-touch exercises. When Stefan Ortega and the reserve goalkeeper go in for their volleys in their warm-up, Ederson is just stretching, nice and relaxed, nice and easy, walking around. Ederson then, after that, goes into some dipping volleys from the edge of the box. Now you can see already from this warm-up, it is very, very laid back, almost lackadaisical. There's no unnecessary effort, there's no unnecessary stress. Ederson, nice and easy with his movements, nice and relaxed. And then when Stefan Ortega goes in for his dipping volleys from the edge of the box, Ederson's just playing two-touch with the reserve goalie. Now, he's obviously played a lot of big games, but it just shows how relaxed he is before this one. Stefan Ortega and the reserve goalie do a few low saves from the post, and Ederson, again, taking his time, walking around, feeling his way into the warm-up. We then move on to some crosses. So Ederson and Stefan Ortega are both taking crosses from either side. It's interesting in this warm-up that Stefan Ortega is pretty much doing the same work that Ederson's doing. There's no more work for Ederson as the starting goalkeeper. But he's concentrating on taking the ball at the highest point, coming and attacking the cross, and the intensity's starting to move up a level. If we were on a 2 out of 10 intensity before, we're probably moving to a 4 or a 5 out of 10. Still not smashing it, still not going at any extreme pace, but moving through the gears. After the crosses, all three goalkeepers move into the goal for some shots on the angle. So Ederson, Stefan Ortega, the reserve goalkeeper, they're setting on that angled position and taking strikes from the floor from about just inside the 18-yard box. Here again, the intensity's starting to move up a little bit more. The strikes are becoming a little bit more intense. The power is increased versus what you saw with the volleys or the dipping volleys. And obviously you have to start to switch on your handling, your hand-eye coordination, your footwork as you're stepping into the dives. Once they've finished on that side, they do the exact same thing from the opposite angle. So Ederson is setting for two different strikes, one with a right foot and one with a left foot, which is interesting from the coaches. He's trying to cover as many different ball flight patterns as he possibly can to get his brain ready for those different strikes that he's going to experience in the match. As you can see, Ederson is getting down sharp and he's getting across sharp. He's covering a lot of the goal with these angled saves. Still working on shot stopping, the service then moves to either side of the D on the edge of the box. More central than before, but still a little bit of an angle on the strike. So the goalkeepers, Ederson, Ortega, the reserve goalie, they still have to adjust their position based on where the strike is coming from. Here you can see Ederson's got that explosive power to be able to cover the whole goal and make that save with the outstretched arm to his left. And then still exactly the same, steps into the dive and controls it with a double-handed save. The strikes now move to the middle, two strikes from pretty much a central angle just outside the box within the D. To be able to cover the whole goal from this angle is probably the most difficult shot stopping angle that you will receive during a game. So he's built up to that from wide angles right down to central. He's not gone straight into a central strike, but has built up throughout the warm-up. As you can see, his handling is very, very good. His footwork's very, very good. And he's still maintaining that very calm demeanor in between sets. So now we move on to the bit that you've probably all been waiting for. This is the distribution part of Ederson's warm-up. So he starts with some strikes off the floor, taking a little bit of a touch within the 6-yard box and playing clip passes within his half. The goalkeeper coach is moving to different angles and he has to try and pick him out as accurately as possible. Now, Ederson is well known for how accurate his long-range distribution passing is. And by serving and starting his pass from the middle of his 6-yard box, he's creating as much space as he would if he was building out from the back from a goal kick. Now, something else which I found interesting from this part of his warm-up, look how good his strikes are with his right foot. Ederson is famous for obviously his left foot range of distribution, but I didn't realise how good of a passer he was with his right foot. Still able to cover a big distance accurately with a nice and flat long-range pass. The other thing that stands out is how at ease he looks when distributing the ball. He's not trying to smash it, he's not trying to hit the skin off the ball, he's just clipping it. And the technique is that good that he's able to cover a pretty much full range of distance with a clip. And now we move on to the side volleys. This was the bit I was waiting for. Same concept, the goalkeeper coach moves to different angles within Ederson's own half, and he just picks him out with the side volley. And I'm going to shut up, stop talking, and I'm going to let you watch something that is a goalkeeping thing of beauty. Ederson's side volley warm-up. Again, the thing that stands out to me, he's not trying to smash it. It's just a perfect display of technical excellence. Executing time after time the same technique with no variation and able to pick out accurately his player on such a long range of a pass. He varies the height sometimes, but again, he'll need to do that during a game. But so calm, so relaxed, and such a good executor of distribution. So there you go, that is it. The end of Ederson's warm-up. Handling, footwork, shot stopping, crosses, and of course, distribution. A pleasure to watch, and you can see why he's one of the best in the game. So although the game won't be remembered for long, Ederson put in a solid performance and came away with the clean sheet. If you would like to see more pro pre-game warm-ups, GK tutorials, and goalkeeper vlogs, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. See you next week.